Once upon a time in a mystical realm, where fairies and humans lived harmoniously, there was a little cottage nestled amidst a sprawling mango grove. The cottage was special. It was no ordinary dwelling, but a humble abode of a powerful fairy. This fairy was not just any ordinary fairy. Her name was Peri, a beautiful young fairy with shimmering golden wings that sparkled like 1,000 stars. She had a radiant glow that illuminated the forest around her, and her presence brought joy and wonder to all who knew her. But Peri wasn't just admired for her beauty. She also possessed an extraordinary kindness that touched the hearts of every living being in the forest. Her days were filled with acts of generosity, helping animals, tending to flowers, and making the wishes of humans come true. One evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the land, Peri decided to visit the nearby village. The village was a quaint and charming place inhabited by friendly humans who often sought Peri's help with their problems. As she flew over the village, she noticed an old woman sitting alone in her small hut. The woman's name was Dottie, and she was known throughout the village for her warmth and hospitality. But lately, she hadn't been feeling well, and no one had noticed her loneliness. Touched by what she saw, Peri decided to pay a visit to the old woman. She landed gracefully outside the hut and knocked on the door with her magic wand. "Who's there?" called out the old woman, her voice raspy with age. "It's just me," Dottie replied Peri, her voice as sweet as honey. "I know, child," said the old woman with a smile. "I was just testing you." She opened the door and welcomed Peri inside. As the evening progressed, Peri and Dottie chatted about various topics, and the fairy soon learned that the old woman was feeling unwell and needed some special herbs to make a healing tonic. Realizing that these herbs were rare and hard to find, Peri promised to bring them back for Dottie. With a wave of her magic wand, she vanished into the night, determined to fulfill her promise. Now, as darkness fell and the moon ascended, bathing the world in its silvery light, Peri found herself flying over a dense part of the forest. The trees here were tall and dark, and the undergrowth was thick and thorny, making it a challenging journey. Just when she began to lose hope, she suddenly noticed a faint glow emanating from behind a cluster of ancient trees. Curious, she flew towards the light and gasped in amazement at what she saw before her. There in front of her stood a small yet exquisite, magical hut. The hut seemed to glow from within, casting an ethereal light that pierced through the darkness. Its roof was adorned with moss and vines, giving it a touch of wild elegance. The walls were made of smooth, flat stones that shimmered with an otherworldly glow, as if infused with magic themselves. Around the hut, an array of vibrant flowers bloomed, their petals unfurling to reveal luminous colors that danced in the moonlight. The sight was truly enchanting, a mesmerizing blend of nature's beauty and mystical charm. As Peri approached the hut, she heard a soft, melodic humming. The sound was hauntingly beautiful, like the whisper of a forgotten lullaby. It seemed to echo from the depths of the forest itself, calling out to her with an ancient allure. Intrigued and slightly apprehensive, she hesitated for a moment before gently knocking on the door. A single knock echoed in the stillness, and in a flash, the door swung open, revealing a cozy and inviting interior. The interior of the hut was like nothing Peri had ever seen before. The walls were lined with shelves filled with an array of mystical ingredients, strange and wonderful concoctions that glimmered and glowed in the dim light. In the center of the room, a large cauldron bubbled merrily over a crackling fire, its surface reflecting an array of dancing flames. The air was filled with a rich, intoxicating aroma, a tantalizing blend of exotic spices and magical herbs. And in this enchanting space, perched on a stool beside the cauldron, sat the most peculiar sight of all, a tiny yet chubby old woman stirring the bubbling brew with a gnarled wooden spoon. Upon seeing Peri enter, the old woman paused her, stirring and turned to face the fairy with a pair of twinkling eyes. Despite her diminutive size, her gaze was sharp and knowing, and a playful smile crinkled the corners of her lips. Peri couldn't help but feel a sense of warmth and comfort wash over her. There was something about this place, about the hut and its mysterious inhabitant, that beckoned to her like an old friend. "Well, hello there, little fairy," the woman said in a raspy yet cheerful voice. "What brings you to my humble abode in the heart of the Whispering Woods?" As Peri looked into the woman's eyes, she felt a connection, a sense of familiarity that transcended their different worlds. She knew instinctively that this was no ordinary hut or inhabitant. She had stumbled upon a hidden sanctuary of magic and mystery. "Greetings, wise guardian of the woods," Perry replied, her voice echoing with respect. "I come seeking your aid. I need rare herbs for an elixir that will heal a dear friend of mine, Dottie, the kind old woman from the village." The woman nodded understandingly, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Ah, yes, I know her. A noble soul. Indeed." She paused, lost in thought for a moment. "The herbs you seek are rare and elusive, but not beyond our reach. However, they require a special touch to gather. Are you willing to help me with a simple task in return?" she asked, turning to Perry with a gentle smile. "Of course, anything," replied Perry without hesitation. Eager to help Dottie, she was ready to undertake any challenge. The woman's smile widened, revealing a set of surprisingly sharp teeth. "Excellent. Then let us begin!" she exclaimed, her voice ringing with enthusiasm. And so Perry found herself embarking on a series of peculiar tasks guided by the enigmatic woman. Each challenge was designed not only to test her abilities, but also to deepen her connection with the magical world around her. As the night deepened, Perry diligently followed the woman's instructions. She gathered glistening dewdrops from moonlit flowers, collected pebbles that resonated with the rhythm of the forest, and even helped stir a mystical potion bubbling in an ancient cauldron. Throughout her tasks, Perry marveled at the secrets of the magical hut. She discovered hidden pathways that led to enchanting gardens filled with bioluminescent plants and creatures that shimmered like jewels in the moonlight. As she worked, the woman shared tales of the forest's history, revealing its magic and mysteries. Finally, as the first rays of dawn began to peek through the trees, Perry completed her final task. Standing before the woman, she presented the gathered items, her heart filled with a mixture of accomplishment and anticipation. The woman examined the gathered items with a critical eye, a satisfied smile slowly spreading across her wrinkled face. "Well done, little fairy!" she exclaimed, her voice echoing with approval. "You have shown patience, kindness, and a deep respect for the forest. Now I shall reward you." With a wave of her magic wand, the woman transformed the gathered items, imbuing them with magical properties. From the pebbles, she created luminous talismans that would guide Perry in times of need. From the flower dew, she crafted a refreshing elixir that would grant temporary flight to any who drank it. And finally, from the potion she had helped stir, she created a healing draft so potent it could cure even the most persistent of ailments. Overjoyed by the rewards, Perry thanked the woman profusely. Before leaving, the woman handed Perry the healing draft. "Here, take this. It will be of great help to you and Dottie." Then she leaned closer, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Remember, Perry, the true magic lies not in the potions or talismans, but in the connection we share with the world around us." With her mission accomplished, Perry bid farewell to the woman and returned to the village. She found Dottie in her hut, looking much better after drinking the healing draft. Overjoyed to see her friend's recovery, Perry recounted her adventures in the magical hut, describing the wondrous sights and mystical beings she had encountered. Dottie listened with wide eyes, her heart filled with admiration for her brave and compassionate friend. And so the tale of Perry and her adventure in the magical hut became a legend, whispered through the ages. The memory of her kindness and the magical guidance she received served as a guiding light for generations of fairies and humans alike, reminding them of the profound connection they shared with the mystical world around them. Now it's time to meet our next story. Character: old woman, wrinkled face, patched clothes, fierce expression, tribal tattoos, clutching a staff, sits outside her hut, shrouded in an eerie blue mist. Her weathered face holds 1,000 tales of hardship and magic.